Hello and welcome to Matt Loves Eurovision. It's my Eurovision 2023 Top 37 countdown. It's place number 5. It's Serbia, Luke Black, and Samo spava. Please do click on the subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and like, share, and comment below. As always, the link to the music video is in the description, and also the link through to the review on my website. So Eurovision rehearsals are well underway, which means both the live shows and, perhaps mercifully, the end of this countdown are now in sight. And here we are in my top 5. Now, Serbia, has to be said, is not a country I often have in the upper echelons of my countdown. Though I respected last year's entry, I really enjoyed what Konstrakta brought to stage. Some genuine quirky art pop, and it did very well, finishing 5th in the final. Now, Luke Black is Serbia's entry this year, and with his song Samo spava, Serbia are once again giving us something very different, quirky and arty. So can Luke replicate Konstrakta's success? Now, Luke Black, or Luke Ivanovic, to give him his actual name, is a singer-songwriter he had been active in the music industry from 2015 to 2018. He then took a bit of a break from music until he released a single independently in 2021. In the meantime, he moved to London. He spent, since 2018, he's been living in London. First studying at music school, then he did a master's degree in music production from the British and Irish Modern Music Institute, and now works as a graphic designer for a record label still in London, not far from May Muller, as it turns out. He's also openly gay, which is not, of course, not so unusual now for Eurovision artists, to be openly LGBT, but it's still good to see that and to hear that. And he won what was a really competitive national final, Serbian national final, coming second with both the juries and with the televote to kind of win overall. Now, Samo spava is another really distinctive and quirky entry from Serbia. It's kind of very dark pop with a lot of sounds associated with computer gaming, computer gaming musics and soundtracks. To me, it reminds me of some of the sort of dark electronic, often dissonant sounds of 1980s sort of dark fantasy or science fiction. The message behind the song is a thoroughly modern one, though. It's both a description and perhaps a warning about how we choose to sleep. The song title means "I just want to sleep," and either deliberately ignore the realities and bad situation of the world and all the horrors and the challenges that we face, or that we become asleep to them, and it is the digital world where we escape to, be that kind of gaming, and there are many gaming references in this entry, or perhaps just generally lost to our phones and to the digital world and social media in general. It's a dark, dystopian warning of a song to us all. I think this is such a really clever track and so well thought through in its detail and its execution and all the references and inspirations it draws on, the kind of dramatic music, that almost off-note, off-key reverberating 80s electro chords, the post-apocalyptic industrial staging, the allegorical nature of the song, and the kind of ethereal performance by Luke Black himself, and some great choreography all make this stand out. And we haven't even mentioned the lobster. It's great to see Serbia continuing with these very avant-garde and very daring and very brave and bold entries. And I think if you are a gamer yourself or into gaming, there should be a lot of Easter eggs, I think, in the stage show at the contest. Now, Luke's been given the exact same spot in the running order of the semi-final as Konstrakta had last year, which is 3rd. It happens to be the 3rd and the first semi-final. Now, historically, that is the worst slot for qualifying in terms of getting through to the semi-final, getting through to the grand final. Perhaps the producers just don't feel that this will be disadvantaged by going in 3rd. Certainly should be memorable, and as well, people just actually genuinely enjoying the performance. I think this will appeal to some very specific demographics as well. Konstrakta's votes, although obviously it was a very different song, I appreciate, but they came primarily from televoters. She's much better in the televote than she did with juries. And of course, it is televoters that decide the qualifiers solely this year. So I think that is a good sign for something like this. I'm pretty confident that this will qualify. And while I'm not sure it will quite repeat the voting success of Incorpore Sano, I think it is going to be a great and worthy addition to the grand final. But what do you think? Do let me know in the comments and join me next time as we head into the final four. Take care.